So hi, it's like 1 in the morning. I'm sitting on the bathroom floor. You're probably wondering, what the heck are you doing down there? And what is that, a cobweb? What is this about? Are you seeing that? I get the tendency sometimes to pull out my camera when I'm thinking a lot. I also have two giant zits conjunct to each other. We love that. But I've been thinking about moving. I don't know. I got to help my parents settle into their new home. I got to spend the holidays with them. I even put myself out there on dating apps in this area. Waste of time, but whatever. Friends, I tried to make some friends. I made a friend. She ended up moving back home though. Yeah, I feel like I found places I wanted to explore, and I did. I did what I could with the place, and now I just feel like it's time to move on. It's weird because I'm so far removed. Like, I'm all the way in Florida, and it's like, oh, I want to move here. It doesn't feel real until things like actually start to take place. And the thing with me is I'm so picky, and I feel like you should be. You should be picky about your life. You should be picky about your living conditions if you can be, if you have the luxury. I know it's a luxury to be picky. I just feel like home for me, as a Cancer, as a person, zodiac aside, I value my home like nothing else. It can't just be any place. I'm not adaptable, I'm high maintenance, and in a lot of ways I'm spoiled. And I openly admit that. But I did find someone who I think is really cool. I know her from a friend, and she's like best friends with one of my best friends, and that's like exactly what I was looking for, a mutual friend. She also went to Rutgers, so I love that for me. We love the community, we love the alumni, and she feels familiar for those reasons, because she's friends of a friend and because she went to Rutgers and shared a similar college experience, at least the campus. We're starting the process of looking for apartments, and it's getting a little bit more serious. I feel like I'm dating someone. It's getting a little bit more serious. With that new seriousness, it's brought on a lot of emotions. I feel like every time I watch a moving vlog or someone talks about moving, like, it's never like this. In the DMs or in the comments, whichever way you feel more comfortable, but like, if you've had these feelings too about moving out, like, please let me know, because I literally feel crazy. I just feel like people don't talk about their emotions online. I don't know what's going on with everybody, but I'm just telling you what's up with me. But like, on a serious note, I've never really lived on my own, or never had to like do life on my own. I've always lived close to home. Rutgers was so close to my house in New Jersey. A lot of people like to like spew the narrative that like living at home at 23 means you're like a failure. Like, I get wanting to be on your own and like do your own thing and explore, but I just like, also at the same time, like, student debt is real, and like, there's a global pandemic, and there's just so many things. But I don't know. Basically, I've never lived on my own. The one time I did, it ended miserably, and I will not even count that as my first time moving out. That was an extended and very expensive vacation. So, and the thing about it really is like, I love my family and we're close, but like, we fight and butt heads so much. It's not like we're like the picture perfect family, so it's like funny that I'm like, I don't want to leave, but at the same time, for like 23 years, it's really all I've ever known. So I understand why it's difficult for me to like kind of close the chapter and move on and be more self-sufficient. They say, real G's, move in silence like lasagna. And like, I've been talking about it with friends, obviously, but I don't want to put anything online, and I'm not going to put anything online until I'm in my apartment smiling and all my boxes are moved in and everything's good and dandy and I feel okay there. But I still kind of want to like document the process. And again, not that I didn't give it a fair shot here, but I just always knew like, this is not home. And also, like, I don't have a million friends. I've brought this up a few times, but I don't have a million friends. The friends I do, like, I do hold so close to me. And it's like funny because I'm the type of person where it's like, you're my best friend, but like, maybe I'm not yours, because they have all their best friends. A lot of my main best friends, people that I consider my main best friends, live in that area. I have one friend in Jersey City, I have one friend in Brooklyn, and I have one friend who just moved to New York. So yeah, and there's also this boy in New York. So while it sounds like 3, and we'll count him as a half, 3.5 people isn't necessarily enough of a reason to move. It's way more friends than I have here. I just feel like that's the next step, and I could move to another city, a random city, but I don't want to do that. I am a homebody. I like to be in places that are familiar, and as anonymous and crazy as the city is, it feels familiar. That is kind of just what's been going on. I've been feeling really weird about it, so this has been extremely, extremely therapeutic. I talk to my friends about it like here and there, but I feel like my friends that have moved out probably just do not feel these same struggles or like feelings that I've been feeling. And I started this book. I've been collecting quotes from books that I read. This is one of the pages. And I've just been collecting the quotes and kind of like collaging them onto a page just so I can remember it. But this one book that I read, one of the quotes I feel like is very really fitting for this moment. It says, "Everything changes," she says. "Change isn't good or bad, it's just change." And I felt that one in my soul here today. I will continue to vlog as I feel it is necessary, as I feel like there's real progression towards this move. Like I said, we're just in the beginning stages, so I don't know if this will come to fruition or not, and I hope it does, because I really feel like in my soul this is like what needs to go on right now. And I think my emotional response would make people feel otherwise, but I feel like because I'm having a response like this, like more than anything, it's like the right thing. Because if it wasn't the right thing, like maybe I wouldn't really have a reaction because I'd just be like, no. But I feel like life is all about growth and all about change, and I feel like I'm in a growing pain right now, and I feel like that's why all these emotions and all these feelings are coming up, because I'm growing as we speak. Look, I'm 10 feet tall. Ah. Literally. Who else does video diaries? If you know any other YouTubers who do this, let me know. Put me on, because I want to watch people talk in their bathroom at freaking 1 a.m. That's really what I want to do. I'm serious. This is the content we deserve. Okay. Good night. Hello everybody. Welcome back to another episode of me sitting on the floor and rambling about my life. I need to like put my hair up. I look crazy right now. Okay. So essentially, last time that we checked in like this, sorry the lighting is so weird. I know I'm pale, but like I'm not this pale. I mean, maybe I am, but okay, this is so much better. Let me get a pillow to sit on. Okay. I'm still short. Crap. I mean, I have a tripod back here. Maybe I should use it. So last time we were chit-chatting about this, it was very up in the air. I was so unsure, and I was like, ee. Today I'm putting in an application to an apartment with my roommate, and you know, it just feels crazy. She has been touring for us. That she went out twice to tour for us, and we finally found a place that we think, you know, would be a great fit for us. So we're really excited. I just have to say, like, if you guys are looking for an apartment, because when I first started looking, I wasn't sure where to look. I honestly think for the area that I was looking, which is like New Jersey, New York, that Street Easy is like the best option. So yeah, I was really dead set on New York, and so was my roommate, but we ultimately decided on an apartment right outside of New York, and mainly because of space and money. But yeah, I like am gonna brush over this because I don't really want to go in depth about it. But essentially my mom's like in the hospital right now, and she's been in the hospital for a week. She had surgery, and like I said, I don't really like want to go into the nitty-gritty because one, it's just like not my story to tell, and also like I just like don't love putting that side of my life on the internet. I just feel like there are some things that you should just keep private, and I just like feel bad leaving because I know, like, I mean, I don't carry the team on my back, like that's definitely my dad, but I'm just saying, like, I do help out, and it's like I know once I leave and I like give up that role, they're gonna have to take on more, and I like hate to like put more stress on them when they're like already dealing with so much. And that's not a guilt that they put on me. Like, I do not want this to get misconstrued. My parents are so supportive of like anything that I want to do, and they've always been there for me. And like even now they're like, okay, well, like let's get it cracking, like what's next steps, what do we have to do, like how can we support you during this time? And like also, if it doesn't work out, like, you of course can come back. I just like feel even worse because it's like if something does ever happen and like they do need me around or like extra support, it's like now I'm a plane right away, and also then you have to account for coronavirus where it's like I might have been exposed, and then it's like I'm on a plane and then I have to quarantine, and it's just like really crazy. So we're putting in the application. I would be surprised if we didn't get approved. Yeah, like we're good candidates. Like there's no reason that we wouldn't. So I'm assuming that we will. And yeah, I'm pretty much gonna be moving like within the next month, which is crazy. And I'm gonna have to do a lot of legwork. And I feel like I kind of have been guided into this versus me like pushing to move, because I am like still on the fence. I'm still like, am I making the right decision? I don't know. Like I know when I get there, I'm probably gonna be plagued with like, oh my god, what's going on? What am I doing? Like, why am I here? But also New Jersey's my home, and like I know when I go back I'm gonna be like, oh my god, thank god, like thank god. So yeah, I'm gonna fill out the application right now and stop rambling about doing it and live my life. But yeah, I just want to keep you guys updated that is just like kind of the tea and like what's going on. So yeah, and I think like honestly, like the more that I talk about this and the more that I like vlog about it, it makes me feel more comfortable that it's like happening, and also like makes me come to terms with the fact that like, okay, like you came here, you helped settled in your parents, you lived your life, you created your content, you got over everything that happened in New Jersey, you're healed now, you're like a better you, and like now it's time to return and like continue to level up. And honestly, you don't need to like move out just to prove a point. Like I hate that. Like people assume just because you're living at home that like you don't have individuality, that like you don't make money, that like you aren't independent. Like none of that's true. Like everyone has different circumstances and different reasons for staying home or moving out. The best part about being alive is the connections that we make here on this earth. It's okay to like need help or like not move out of your house at 23. Like it's literally okay. And don't let other people on social media or other people barking on Twitter like tell you, you're not grown, I moved out at 18, look at my house, blah blah blah. Like good. Like I'm not negative, I don't harbor ill will towards you. Like I'm happy for you, whatever makes you happy, I'm happy. Like if you moved out at 18 and you own a house, good. Not everyone is on the same path, not everyone is on the same timeline. And there's also a quote that goes, clap for your friends even if their dreams take off before yours. And 1000%, like if you're older and you're still living at home and you're seeing younger people like move out on social media, your friends, whatever it may be, like that's okay. Like just because they did it before you doesn't mean anything. To wrap this up, I'll continue to update you as things progress, but as of right now I need to go fill this application and that's pretty much it. So I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. I would just like to preface this video by saying that I literally woke up at 6 a.m. today. I am not a morning person. I'm not a morning person. My sleeping schedule has been such a wreck. I don't know if you guys have like ever experienced this, but I used to be able to sleep so soundly. Like I would lay my head down on the pillow and I'd be like, this is my life. I love sleeping. Good for me. But now I'm always kept up at the wee hours of the night. I like will do my skincare routine. I started taking melatonin gummies. Like doesn't matter. I just literally can't go to sleep. And even if I am able to fall asleep, I can't like get into a deep sleep. And even if I do fall into like a lighter sleep versus a deep sleep, I still wake up at like odd hours, like 4 a.m. And I mean like literally up. So today I was up at 5 a.m. and I was like laying in bed. I was like half asleep still. I was like, should I go to sleep? Should I wake up? Like, I don't know. And then I was thinking, I was like, honestly, I've been doing this for like a month. And if I'm gonna have a weird sleeping schedule, like I might as well just get things done. So I was like, I'm gonna like slowly wake myself up. So I started watching like a YouTube video, like a tarot card reading. So I was like, honestly, I need the tea of my life right now. So I got the tea of my life. Wasn't that insightful. Watched the video, woke up. I was like, I should literally like stretch. I'm like, I feel so like stressed out. Like I need to like tension release. So I was stretching and that was good. And then I was like, honestly, I should do yoga. So then I took like a yoga class online and I was like, good for me. And then I was like, okay, great. Like, let's just keep the momentum flowing. So I like emptied the dishwasher, did laundry, literally like made a smoothie, walked my dog, took a shower. Like I was in it. But now it's like midday, and first of all, if you guys are still following me on Instagram after the day I've had, thanks, because I was posting my story like I was famous already. And I had a very long day. Like literally was out here with like a 20 slide story. Basically, if you are following me on Instagram and you're like following my story from today, you would know that like around noon I like was starting to crash. Like I was so tired, and now I'm like at a point where I'm like up, but I'm just like spiraling. And I'm just like, oh no. But I kind of got a little distracted from work, which is unfortunate because the reason that I wanted to wake up early was so I could get a lot of work done. But I'm also in the middle of moving, as you guys secretly know, and I've like hinted to a little bit on my Instagram, but haven't like outright said, because I don't want to like jinx anything or like mess anything up or have like evil forces like infiltrate. I don't know like why I didn't account for the fact that like it's gonna be so hard to move my stuff back to New Jersey. Like I knew moving was such a pain in the ass, but like the last time I moved was like from my house to an apartment, and then from my apartment back to my house, and then from my house to here. But that was like a major move, so like obviously we used a moving company, and like it wasn't that difficult because like it was like a white glove moving company, you know what I mean? And it was like for a full family house. But now that I'm like just going off on my own, like I'm not gonna pay thousands and thousands of dollars just to move like my clothes and my desk. But yeah, I started doing some like soft research today of like price points of how expensive it is to move, and like I called the moving company that we had used to move here originally, and they gave me an estimate, which honestly isn't like that crazy for like what I'm asking them to do, but like I'm not spending that amount of money to like move the little things that I have to move. Like I'm not gonna buy all new clothes. Like I could obviously replace my desk, I could obviously replace this mirror, I could obviously replace a mattress. Like I can't buy all new clothes. So I'm like, okay, if I don't use a moving company, then how the hell am I supposed to get all my stuff down there? So everyone keeps telling me like pods, moving pods, or you could like, there's something called U-Pack that one of my friends used, and like when I was doing research, I found that out too. And I'm like, okay, yeah, but like I have no problem like packing my stuff and like putting it in there, because like obviously I have my dad, he'd help me. When I get there, like it's just gonna be me, you know what I mean? And like literally my roommate the weekend that I'm moving isn't even gonna be there. She's like gonna be skiing, and it's just like like, you know what I mean? Like I don't have anyone that I could really like ring up and be like, hey, can you like help me bring these boxes up? Like I mean, I guess besides my brother, but literally the weekend that I'm moving is dead ass Valentine's Day weekend, and it's like any man that I have a slight connection to is like preoccupied with like their girlfriend that I'm friends with, or like whatever. So yeah, like I'm like trying to think off the top of my head of people I could even bother, but then it's like the fact that it's Valentine's Day weekend, like I don't even think I could bother them anymore. Like I don't know. I mean, I think even U-Pack is expensive though. U-Pack is so expensive, but literally, because I was thinking, I was like, okay, I could pack up my stuff, fly there, have U-Pack meet me at the apartment, have my brother help me like unpack U-Pack and bring it up into the apartment. And like I think that might be my best bet, which is so unfortunate because it's like so much money to do that. It's so ridiculous, but it is the most flexible like timing wise, because the other option that I'm looking at is something called Ship. What the hell is it even called? Ship, what do you call it? I have so many of these little post-it notes. Ship Smart, which isn't like a moving company, it's basically like a shipping company. And also with that, like you have to plan so far ahead, like it needs to be at their like headquarters base station like 2 to 3 weeks out before it even ships. And then it also obviously takes time to ship. And then I like went on some like moving website. Honestly, don't do this, but I like put in my phone number and my email. Learn from me, please, Jesus. Like I am a moving expert at this point. I like put in my like contact information. Like 2 random companies call me. So one random company calls me, they're like, oh my god, hi. And he was like nice, and I'm like I don't even know what company this is. And I was like on the phone with him, and then this other company called me not once, not twice, but 3 times in a row after I didn't respond. So I'm like on the phone with the one moving guy. I'm like, give me a minute, like this person's like crazy calling me. I didn't even know who it was. So I pick up the phone, it's a moving company. I'm like, hello. They're like, oh, this is the blah 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 moving company. I'm like, okay. They're like, yeah, like we have 5 stars and this and that. And I'm like, okay, like I never even heard of you. And then they give me a quote, which is like so much money, so much more than even like the original moving company that I contacted that moved my family from New Jersey to Florida. gave me like a lot more, like almost $1,000 more. And I was like, your rates are just too high. Like, I'm not paying that for this little of a move. Like, you're out of your mind. I mean, I didn't say it like that. I was just like, oh, no, like, no. And they're like pushing. So I just hang up on them because like, I'm like, what? Like, I already told you no. I'm not in the mood for the sales pitch. I have my own things I have to do. I'm moving. So I just hang up on him. And he calls me back again. He's like, hey. I'm like, no. I literally hung up on him, blocked his number. I'm like, you gotta leave me alone. I'm on a forum right now, some sketch ass forum, never even heard of it in my life. So I'm like trying to figure out like, how do people move? Like, what do people do? Like, I'm not the only person with this problem. Main thing is like, drive it down. Hear you. I'm moving to a city, so I don't need to drive. Like, I hate driving. I've always hated driving, never been into driving. That's why I commuted to the city every day from New Jersey, because I literally hate to drive. I don't even have a car anymore. I sold it. Even if I were to rent a car, like, it's not happening. I could barely drive an hour. I'm not driving like 14 to 24 to get there. U-Haul, I feel like that's the same situation. I'm still gonna have to drive it, so better look next time. This was an interesting one that I'm gonna look into, but I just like don't think it's gonna make a lot of sense. Airline extra baggage, and I will like do my best to pack as much as I can in a suitcase, but it's like if I am paying a premium amount of money to be using like a service to ship my stuff, then like I'm not gonna do that. But I think this is an interesting option. But the thing is, like, I was looking at all the airlines because everyone has like different restrictions, and it's like if you have one bag, it's like X amount of money, 2 bags, it's X amount of money, 3 bags, that's when it gets really expensive, like $150 per bag. But I was just like picturing myself roaming through the airport with like 3 bags, and I'm like, this is just not, again, realistic. Ship the items. I feel like we already went over that with ShipSmart, waiting to hear the response on pricing. Sell all my stuff and buy new stuff again. Obviously, there's like little miscellaneous things that like I'm not gonna bring, but then there's other things where it's like, I'm not gonna buy this again. Like, I'm not gonna reinvent my wardrobe just because I'm moving. And like, I know I have a lot of clothes. Like, I have a lot of clothes. I'm not gonna sit here and say I don't have a lot of clothes. But if we look back to where I was when the whole moving process started in August, like, I've cut down on clothing so much. I literally got rid of clothes the first time I moved into the apartment, when I moved out of the apartment, and also when I got here. In a really fun twist of events, my internet's out, so even though I want to get back to work, can't. Love work from home lifestyle. Girl, today has been a day. Yeah, like I mentioned in previous videos, like, it would have been so much easier to just move from New Jersey to somewhere else in New Jersey or to New York, and that was like always what I wanted to do. But of course, that's just not the way that it happened, and I always tried to avoid like this backwards reverse move for myself because I knew it was going to be such a pain in the ass, and like, I've been scared of it, but I'm just literally forcing myself into it and like dealing with it later. Like, I'm literally moving in like 2 weeks. Don't even have a moving company. Like, and I even have like a giant box right here. It's like off camera, you kind of see it, like all that stuff piled up. Getting rid of all that stuff. Like, there's so much stuff even still that like I brought here with me or that I had accumulated since being here, and I'm like, I'm just getting rid of it. Like, I don't even care. And like, I keep doing that, which is so great because it's like the stuff that I actually have. I'm like, oh my god, I love. But then it's like when you dwindle it down to the stuff that you really love, and it's like you have to still like get rid of things, it's like, oh my god. I know that's such a first world problem and just sounds ridiculous, but like, I'm just trying to like give insight into the realities of moving, and like, yeah, that's just like where I'm at right now. I hope my internet began to work again because I really would love to get back to work. I have had such a like crazy weird day. Like, I never wake up in the morning. You guys know I like went over this already, but I feel like the lack of sleep and also like me just like pushing myself out of bed, I'm like, whatever, I'm gonna get up, I'm gonna do this, like, has just sent me into such a weird tailspin of a day. And I really do want to become a morning person, and I do think I'm gonna try and wake up again early tomorrow because I would love to like correct my sleeping schedule, and I think that like this is the only way to do it, by like shocking my system. How is the internet still down? Like, girl, like, Miss Girl, I gotta get back to work. This is very frustrating. It looks so shady outside. Maybe it's like raining somewhere, who knows. Oh my god. But yeah, I feel like I have gave it away a little bit on my stories that I'm moving, but I also think the fact that I'm moving back is going to be a shock to a few people. But I really just wanted to like vlog all of this again the same way that I vlogged all the other nonsense, because I just, one, want people to be able to look at this, like, so they don't do this, like, don't move across the country, it's a pain in the ass, and don't move like 3 or 4 times, however you want to count it, within the span of 6 months, and don't move in with people when you've only been dating for 6 months either. I mean, I'm not gonna say that it doesn't work for everyone, but especially when you're this young, like, Lord have mercy, like, do not rely on people like that. Like, it is just such a disaster. Hello?
Hi, good afternoon. I was looking to speak to Allison.
Yes, this is she.
Touching base here with you about your upcoming move to New Jersey.
Oh, sure. Yep. How are you?
I'm doing well, and yourself?
Good. Oh my god, with the drama. See, this is what I'm saying. Like, I put my number into like a website, and it was like a moving website. Like, I thought I was putting my number into that moving's website, but I guess like what it does is it's like a Tinder, in the sense that it like matches you to like moving companies in your area, or moving companies that have the bandwidth to like accommodate that move. And like random people just keep calling me, and I guarantee you until the day I die, I'm probably gonna get people asking me, are you moving? And I'm gonna be like, no, delete. Hello everybody. I am currently about to start packing up my room. I'm like kind of in a crabby mood. I woke up at 7:45. My goal today was to wake up at 7 a.m. but I missed it a little bit, which is fine. I didn't fall asleep very early last night anyway. I fell asleep at like 12:30-ish, maybe 1, depending on when I actually like fell asleep. Yeah, I woke up this morning, started with yoga. I was feeling very anxious like after I did yoga and meditation and journaling, and I just was feeling really weird. I was eating breakfast and I felt like nauseous, just not good. But then after I ate, I had to go run some errands and I started to feel better. Yeah, so basically I'm just gonna be packing up like my room right now. I don't have a ton of boxes. I wanted to start light, so I am like a little cranky right now. I think I'm just running lower on steam. When I woke up at 6 a.m. the other day, I started to burn out at noon, and I woke up at like almost 8 today, and it's almost 2 o'clock and I'm starting to burn out, so I think that kind of like makes sense. But I have a lot of stuff I have to do, which is why I started waking up earlier, because I really want to have like fulfilling days and really make sure that I'm getting done everything that I need to get done. Yeah, I mean, there's no like crazy way to do this. I'm basically just gonna be pulling things out of my closet and putting them into boxes. I'm not really gonna be sorting through anything. Pretty much everything that I have right now at this point I'm gonna be taking. The first few times when I was sorting and packing, it was like, am I taking, am I donating, am I selling, what am I doing with this? But now it's kind of just like stay or go, and I'm not gonna leave a ton of things here. Like, I feel like if I don't need it where I'm moving, then like I don't need it. But there are like certain things that I just know I'm not gonna have room for in an apartment, like old stuffed animals or anything like that, and like I don't want to throw them out for sentimental reasons. And I know like once I do have a house or something, that's something that I would bring back and store there. But let's just get started. I'm like pretty eager to start packing up. You guys know how I feel about boxes. You guys know I hate moving, but this time around, honestly, like it's on my own terms, and it's because I elected to move. I mean, of course, like I didn't elect to move here, so it's like of course it makes sense that I want to go back. But also, I have mentioned this so many times, and like people always joke that AirPods are like so expensive, and it's like, oh, you're rich if you have AirPods. These are the first pair of AirPods that I've ever bought, and they are just as like good as when I first purchased them. And I purchased them in 2019. It's 2021 at this point. I love them. I use them all of the time. Like, but these I use seriously every single day, and like multiple times a day for hours a day. I cannot recommend AirPods enough. I feel like when you're doing tedious tasks, it's so important. Like, I put on headphones now and they die, and I'm just like, there's no way. Like, I can barely type with like all the tangledness. Any sort of like it doesn't have to be AirPods, but any sort of like wireless headphones, I feel like this is the future, and this is so positive. Like, it makes me so much more productive, I swear. And if you guys are wondering, I'm listening to J Balvin right now because I'm just in the mood, so let's get it.